Hey guys, it's Bella's Farm Life, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a controversial topic that can cause quite a bit of hate on social media, but we're going to be talking about it anyway because I think it should be talked about. So this is a disclaimer before we get into the video. This is not against anyone that doesn't wear a helmet. This is not against anyone that does wear a helmet, but I'm going to tell you guys what happened to me and what could have prevented what happened and what led up to everything happening. So I have a few horses you guys have met on my channel, and I'm not going to name any names of the horse or anything, but I have 8 horses. 3 of them are thoroughbreds, 1 of them is a warm blood, 4 of them are quarter horses, and 1 of them is a grade horse. Another disclaimer is this is nothing against any breeds or anything, but I'm going to be using the breed of the horse in the video so I don't have to name names. So Sunday morning I had a lesson at 9 o'clock. So I woke up, I fed my cow, got ready for my lesson and everything, waited for my lesson student to arrive. They arrived, and we went up to my gelding field so we could grab one of the horses out of the paddock. My brain is a little fogged, so I am going to be saying and stuff a lot because I am thinking as I'm talking. We got to the paddock and we were going to ride one of my quarter horses, but on this particular day he was not in the mood to get caught. It was a little chilly, not really, but just a little bit less warm than the day before, so my quarter horse just wasn't really in the mood to get caught. He's in a giant 3-acre field, so there was really no way of me chasing him around there with so many other horses in there. So I just kind of left him. I called my dad, told him I couldn't catch the quarter horse, and he said he'd come up and catch him. I didn't really want to use the quarter horse at that point, so I told my dad not to worry about it, because if he was in that type of mood, obviously I didn't want to put a kid on a horse that was kind of just, he was running around and things like that, so I just didn't want to put a kid in that situation. So I ended up using one of my thoroughbreds instead. My quarter horse is like 15.2, 15.3 hands. This thoroughbred is like 16.2 hands, almost 16.3 I'd like to say. Amazing ground manners. This horse has never given us any problems before. So I did my normal, we tacked him up, we groomed him, we tacked him up. I took him out to the ring and I lunged him a little bit just to kind of make sure, get a read on him and how he was doing. This horse's personality is naturally kind of looky, and he kind of does focus on the outside world, but never once has he done anything that would make you think he was going to hurt you or do anything enough to hurt you. If he ever spooked, it was just a little look and he would maybe step away from something, but it was never anything bad at all. He was good for the lesson, but towards the end he got a little quick with walking, and I was just like, all right, you can hop off of him, he's good now. And without even thinking, I was like, I'm just gonna get on him and school him a little bit so he knows that getting quicker towards him wanting to be done with riding isn't the answer. So all I wanted to do was get on, walk him around a little bit, bridle him up, and just slow down his walk. So again, I always have worn a helmet. But on this particular occasion, I did not have the helmet with me. So my lesson students always wear a helmet, but they're kids' helmets, so they do not fit me. So I didn't think anything of it, and I just hopped on him. He wasn't doing anything bad to the point where I thought he was going to be dangerous. The way our farm is set up is we have a big ring over here, and towards the side back part of the big ring we have a round pen. So the round pen is rather large. It has the same type of sand in it as our ring, but by the round pen there are a few paddocks towards the back where you can see the horses in the paddocks, but they're not super close where they can obviously touch noses or anything like that. Like, you have to take a pretty good walk to get to those paddocks, but you can see the horses. There was one horse that likes to run the fence. He does it all the time. So this horse that I was riding has seen this horse run the fence and paddock multiple times. On top of that, he was also lunged and ridden by another person. So he was kind of, he was tired out by then. So, you feel safe getting on something that's already tired out and has kind of been doing its thing. The horse in the paddock, kind of near the ring, took off. And the horse, when I got on him, took off and went into a total bucking spree. I didn't really know what to do at first. I mean, your mind is racing a million miles an hour, but he had his head dropped and he was just throwing these very violent bucks. At that point, I did have a feeling I was going to come off, and I knew I wasn't wearing a helmet. So worst possible scenario would be me landing on my head. Besides your head being a very sensitive part to hurt on your body, I have a condition where me hitting my head can be very deadly. For a split second, he lifted his head up, and I was able to grab his nose and turn him around. But he, again, violently ripped his head back around the other direction, dropped it straight, threw a few more bucks, and if this is my head and this is my body, I came off the front like this. So kind of like a slide. I came off and I hit my face into the ground. So obviously that's where these marks are from. I hit my face into the ground. After hitting my face into the ground, my legs were kind of on his head a little bit, and he was still kind of going, so he did push me through the dirt just a tad, and then he spun around, my body hit, and he spun and ran off towards where the paddock is and just kind of lifted his head over the fence board and was whinnying back to that horse. Now our fence is very, very high in our round pen. I only come up to probably about the third board, and then it's quite a bit of ways above me. So I am kind of like shaking talking about this, so just give me a second. So I've fallen off on multiple occasions, but I've always been wearing a helmet, so anything with my head has always been blocked. This is my helmet. I have another one that has a broken beak here, but I don't use it because it's broken. So this is my main helmet. It has a few scuffs from me dropping it, but I've never fallen on this helmet, and I haven't had it for all that long. I just got this one, but it's scuffed and stuff just from me like actually dropping it, not ever falling off or anything. But definitely this would have saved my life. I would not have had any face injuries if my helmet wasn't there, because if you think about it, I can't put it on because my forehead is scuffed up and bruised. But if I had had this on, the beak of the helmet would have kind of caught where my face hit first, which would be this area, and it wouldn't have hit. I would have just hit like that, and that would have kind of caught me. Maybe this would have broken, but the initial impact would have caught that. So it kind of does stink that I wasn't wearing a helmet, because again, I always wear a helmet, and it's just very stupid of me because I always enforce helmets. All my lesson kids have to be wearing a helmet before they get on the horse. They put the helmet on before they even get on, and then they get on. I am big on helmet safety. I like to see other people wearing helmets when they ride and things like that, and I do think this is something you have to learn from experience. So like, if you make it to see another riding day, you might want to wear a helmet. It probably will teach you a lesson to wear a helmet, because otherwise you could end up paralyzed, breaking your neck, breaking your back, things like that. So now I'm going to lead into what happened after the fall. After the fall, I couldn't really get up. I did think at the time that I broke my neck. I really thought that. The lesson student came over to me, and she was so nice. She was like, "Do you need me to call your dad?" Yada yada, so forth. But I said to her, like, I'm going to try to call my dad, because I needed to kind of explain to my dad what happened in order for him to understand, because I obviously didn't want to just call him and be like, "Get out here now," and hang up. So I called him. I said, "Dad, I just fell off of this horse. Please come out as fast as you can." So my dad came running out. At that point, I did get up. I knew I had to get up. I wasn't really sure where the horse was or anything, so I did stand up, and when I went to go grab him, he ran the other way. He was just kind of in a frenzy. And so my dad came out. My dad took the horse and untacked him for me, and I came in the house and told my mom what had happened. And my mom was looking at my head, and this part of my head was indented, as well as this was bleeding. My lips were bleeding. I do have some cuts on the inside of my lip from biting my lip, but my lips were bleeding, my chin, obviously, under my nose, my finger was killing me, and my neck was hurting so bad. So they put me in the car and we went to the ER. When we got to the ER and they saw my face and everything, it was a lot worse. This is now a few days later, so things are kind of starting to scab up and stuff. I'll insert a picture somewhere or put a picture in of what my face looked like. But basically at the ER, we got there and everybody there was very, very nice. We had told them that I had gotten into a horseback riding accident, and they called the trauma unit. One nurse came in and she said, "There's about to be a lot of people in this room. Just don't panic, don't freak out. We're all here to help you," all of that stuff. So people started flooding in the room. There was 25 people in there. They were poking me on the neck. They put an IV in my arm. They were taking blood. They put a neck brace on me. They were asking me questions like, "What year is it?" Things like that. Looking into my eyes. Kind of just examining me. I can't even wipe my nose. My nose is hurting me. But examining me overall and just trying to make sure that I was okay. They took me in for x-rays, CAT scans, and they gave me an ultrasound, and everything came back okay. I do have a concussion though. I have a really bad sprain in my neck. My finger's pretty bad. I can try to show you my finger. It looks like this, so it's pretty swollen. This is a bruise up here. There's a bruise over here, and this whole side is over here is bruised as well. So that's what my finger looks like. It hurts very badly. It's pretty bad. The cuts obviously hurt as well to the touch. And my nose is extremely sore. They did think I broke my nose, so what they did was, checked out my nose and everything. And on my paperwork, they referred me to a ton of different doctors. So a neurologist to make sure my brain is okay when everything is healed, a plastic surgeon, so if my nose does not heal right or whatever, I do have that option. And that was for all that. I do have to go for a follow-up visit as well. But I don't know when that's going to be. I'll update you guys when that happens. So again, this is a pretty boring video, but I do think it's one that I needed to make because I think helmet safety is going to be your biggest thing. Because if anything could have been any worse, it would have been me either being paralyzed or dead, and the helmet could have very well prevented any of that, even more than obviously not having a helmet on, and my head would not be hurt. I would not have a concussion, things like that, if I was wearing a helmet, because the first thing they asked was if I was wearing a helmet in the hospital, and I was not. So I do think wearing a helmet is honestly just your safest option. Sometimes they're not the prettiest. Sometimes it's not convenient to go grab your helmet, or even if you think you're getting on a horse for a second, it goes to show you how quick something can happen. Another thing is horses are unpredictable animals, so you can have the greatest horse in the world, and one day they're just having an off day and decide to do something, so you always should just be on guard. There's a first time for everything, so no matter how much you trust a horse or love a horse or don't think they would do anything to you, you do have to make sure that you know that there's always a possibility it could happen. Thank you for watching my video. I'll insert a few pictures of everything that happened. I have hospital pictures and things like that, so I will be sharing you those pictures with you guys. Thank you for watching my video, and please wear a helmet. If you can, please wear a helmet. Go buy one that's sparkly or nice or whatever, but just please get a helmet. They come in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, everything. I have this plain black helmet. I have helmets with decals on the side. I have blue helmets. I have skull caps. I have absolutely everything, and even with the amount of helmets I have, I didn't wear one. But just wear one that you think will look good and match your horse's outfit. Get 20 helmets if you want, but please wear a helmet. Again, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm gonna make an update video of when I'm better, hopefully, and I start riding again, but it did destroy my confidence a bit, so I'm gonna be working probably from the ground up again. So stay tuned for groundwork videos as well. Thank you.